Welcome to this new video. Welcome in the new year of 2025. And my new year was a very slow start, I would say, and slower than expected. I took more time off and then I got sick towards the beginning of the new year, so all of that like pressure and social expectations that I do feel, and I guess I've been putting on myself for years that were not my healing years, had brought up some pressure for sure. And the reality was very opposite to that pressure, where I wasn't able to do a lot in the beginning of the year, or I wasn't motivated and didn't want to jump into the new year. But then it got me thinking that it will be a great way to show you some tips on how to stay motivated in 2025 as a highly sensitive person, as someone who's healing their self, someone who's on a self-healing journey, and basically how to go through that part where you're not motivated and where you don't want to plan and you don't know really what you want to achieve, and through those parts of not knowing. And those are as important as the knowing part, as the driven parts, as the taking action parts. But the part where we don't know and where we reassess and where we rethink what we're doing, they are the part of the journey and they help us a lot. The not knowing helps us to let go of what no longer serves us, and it brings up the stuff we didn't want to see. It brings up stuff that may be uncomfortable and where we need to adjust our boundaries and where we need to change the way we're doing things. And that's why it has to stop working, it has to fall apart. And especially if you are healing yourself and you're creating for yourself a life that you want to live, a new version of yourself, a new life, and in that life you're doing things differently than now, then the adjustment is gonna also be uncomfortable at times. And so today I wanna bring up 3, let's say, areas or points on how to stay motivated, and or how to understand the motivation if you're not, and if you're really feeling like you don't know what your next step will be, if your life situation is making you feel like you have no idea what's next for you, and if you're doing the right thing or if you should change it, or you're just in the not knowing. And so the most important part, and what always helps, not only if you're lack some motivation, but at all times it's very important, and I called it grounding. So the first point is grounding. But I hear on social media or wherever a lot talking about that grounding, where you have to go outside, you have to touch nature, you have to connect, you have to be barefoot and things like that. That is great, and that I'm sure helps, and I'm sure that is a strong exercise, and it's a strong practice you can do, and over time for sure has many benefits. But I simplify everything. I know life is simple at its core, and I'm always trying to find the simple route, and the simple grounding is connecting with yourself. Whenever you feel like anxiety is coming up, like depression or a state of uncomfortableness is coming up, you just need to ground within yourself. Connect to your breath immediately. With one breath, you can ground yourself with the conscious breath of reminding yourself you're here, connecting with the strength inside you that you have. And the only time you feel like you don't know what's the next step and you don't know is when you're disconnected from yourself, from your strength. And your strength is always present. No matter what, your strength is always here. Your strength is the living energy, your essence, your being here is your strength. It is the strongest asset. You're your strongest asset. And whenever you feel like you don't know what the next step is, you don't know where you're heading, grounding and deepening that grounding and taking it to the next level, where from connecting to that breath and awareness of I'm here and feeling into your body can be taken deeper in a sense of meditation or deep breathing exercise and things like that. Of course, that will strengthen it, that will make the experience deeper of you being here, and over time this can help you significantly implementing it as a routine on your daily basis. But I want to talk about that grounding, that initial instant grounding, and practicing the fast grounding in terms of I breathe in and I'm aware that as long as I am, I'm gonna be okay. And the fact that I am is enough. No matter what I'm gonna be doing, no matter what I wanna achieve, what I wanna do, what I wanna, who I wanna become, etc., etc., that's all nice and all nice to have, but it's not the essential thing. The essential thing is you reminding yourself that you're here, and as long as you're here, you're gonna be okay. And no matter, and this is from where you should stem the base root of your existence in fortifying this relationship with you being here is enough, with you being here means you're gonna be okay. Because if you're not here and if you're not aware, then whatever the health practices, whatever the outside exterior things, whatever the achievements, they won't matter unless you're gonna be aware and strongly in your power. So the simple grounding, connecting to the strength inside you, even if you don't see your vision, even if you aren't sure where you're heading at the moment, if you're not sure what you're trying to achieve, because this is how the unmotivated parts and the anxious parts can feel and will. If you are changing, you're ever changing, we're ever changing, the time will keep going on, we're ever changing, and sometimes it's okay that you don't know what your next step is, but the grounding, it helps significantly, and especially dealing with chronic pain, especially dealing with anxiety, headache, something. Whenever you're flying away, that's where the pain occurs, that's where the uncertainty, am I good enough, etc., etc., creeps in. But the coming back to grounding within yourself, not necessarily outside physically, not looking for a way to make it complicated, but shortening the distance of being able to ground yourself. So this is essential, and reminding yourself you're here and all is good just because you are. So that's the step number one, or the point number one. Alright, better change done. And step number two, or point number two of being motivated, staying motivated, is allowing yourself not to achieve and not to succeed. This is so important. I think in today's world, this is so necessary, and without this, I think it leads to burnout, it leads to anxiety, it leads to the fact that you will feel lost at the end of the day if you're constantly expecting something from yourself, expecting results from yourself, strong results that you can see, you can touch, and if you don't, then you condition yourself that if you don't have the results, then why are you doing it? But if you're changing your lifestyle, if you're changing yourself, if you're healing something that has been painful for many years and has been fortified in that pain, then the change process isn't gonna be overnight. The sustainable change isn't gonna be overnight. That's why so many of us give up and struggle and just we don't keep going. We don't follow our dreams till the end, till we're living it, because it's so easy to condition yourself, well, I didn't succeed, therefore that's not for me. But you, and every single one of you, is here to succeed. You are here to succeed, but the only one who needs to believe it is you. And before you believe it, you're probably not gonna be succeeding, and you're gonna be convincing yourself why you're not successful. But you're the only one that needs to see your success before it's here, that needs to believe in the result before they see the result. And if you're the one expecting the results before the belief, then you're only fortifying the anxiety, the frustration, because also things don't usually go the way we plan it. They go according to the plan they're meant to go according to. Things always go the right way, and because the way is for us to grow and learn. They always go in that way. The situation that shows up is always for you here for you in order to grow and learn. And this is why we came here, and this is what this human experience is about. And if we put pressure on our limited plan, the plan we think, this is what we think we want, but what is offered to us is way bigger. It comprises everything, and we can't even imagine how good it's gonna be, because it always turns out better than we expected. But if we put the pressure on that limited plan, we want things to turn out the certain way, then we find ourselves with that pressure, and the pressure doesn't allow the flow, and by blocking the flow, you aren't allowing for the very best to enter your life. If you're fixated that is how it should go, that's the only way that the money can come to you, that's the only way you can heal, that's the only way with that person is the only way you can do it with, etc., etc. Yeah, you're limiting yourself so much, but you're creating that pressure, which is what you get. What you create is what you get. The atmosphere you create within yourself is gonna then reflect around you. Whatever you make yourself feel is then gonna fortify. So you're the one choosing what are the habits that are then gonna create your life. You're the one choosing to be okay with that new lifestyle you want on a daily basis. That means taking that action that you want to do or not do on a daily basis until it becomes possible, until it becomes reality, until you become okay with it. Because until you are conditioning yourself, okay, I'm doing this lifestyle, but I need proof, in order to keep doing this. Until you're conditioning yourself with needing those results. And then you're gonna be like, okay, now I can relax. You think you're gonna be like this, that now I can relax and maintain this lifestyle. It's never gonna work, because you need to be the one allowing you to relax in that state, and only then comes the reward. Only then you manifest what you really want. Only when you allow yourself to have that lifestyle you want, to do or not do those things you want, to take a break, to rest, to not know. Only when you allow yourself to do that, then you get back to knowing. Then you get back to that result, that reward you were waiting for. Until that, you're looking for reasons why you can't do that, why you can't do what you want to do. And the third part of the staying motivated on a self-healing journey on the new wonderful year of 2025 that's ahead of us is allowing yourself healing time over longer periods of time. So especially when it comes to chronic pain, I see it with myself always. Whenever chronic pain still shows up, I talk about chronic pain. I feel like I know everything about it. I know how it's caused, how it's triggered. I've been studying it for ages, I feel. For quite a few years now. I've been studying migraines. I feel like I know everything. I feel like I've mastered so much of it. I've gotten to know my body very well, what is good and what is bad for it, and how it feels after. But even though I know all of this, I still do get frustrated when pain reoccurs, when I do get another migraine. Well, I feel, but that's the ego that thinks, well, I should have it already all figured out. I should already know, and I should never basically feel bad anymore, because I'm the one talking about it, right? And I'm the one who studies it, and I'm the one who knows basically everything about it. And I have a lot of moments where I realize, oh, this is how it is. But what we need to understand, and I know it, but it's very easy to forget, that as long as the pain is here and it's reoccurring, that you haven't yet understood that lesson. You haven't yet understood everything about yourself. You don't know yourself well enough, and you don't know everything yet. So the pain is here still for you to take it even easier, to take it to the next level, because there's still more potential within you. Because if there wasn't any pain and there wasn't any more learning for you to do, that would mean you're living your fullest potential. And probably that's possible. And at the same time, I think this is an ongoing journey where there's always more for you to share. There's always more for you to give and receive. There's always more for you to learn about yourself. You can always put it to the next level, There will always be the next level of you understanding yourself better. And you feeding yourself better, because food has a big influence on our mental health, or our pain, chronic pain feeling, on our everyday lives. So understanding what is right for you and what maybe used to work but doesn't work anymore, this will always be on the self-healing menu, basically. Especially if you're healing deep traumas, if you know and are aware of you've been hurt in childhood, or you've been hurt a lot throughout your life. We tend to neglect the size of the trauma, and therefore the size of the potential it still has within. And every time there's the pain reoccurring, the chronic pain, it's another reminder that you can take it to the next level, that there is enough time. And we often feel like, I need to figure it out and then I can live my life. I need to get this out of the way. But this thing is in the way for a reason. This is your source. That's your potential. That's where you can put it to the next level. So allowing your healing time to be as long as it needs to be. If chronic pain is still here, it's still here for you. There's still something you need to learn, and that's okay. And it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know if chronic pain is ever gonna leave your life, because you know, if you've been doing this for a while, and if you've been searching and you've been healing yourself and adjusting your balance of life and adjusting your life, you have made changes, then you know you have come a long way. You know that you're better than you were. You know this, but it's easy to forget this, and it's easy to belittle yourself and feel like if you haven't got it all figured out, then you're still in the beginning. In a way, yes, because there's always more to learn, but you know where you came from. You know how bad it was and what you did achieve, what you did get through, and where you are now. And then step by step, you know you can better adjust your boundaries. You know you can treat yourself a little bit better, that you can be even more gentle to yourself, then you can get to know yourself on many other levels. And you know there's a lot left of that work, and that work is the being here. That is the complex experience. And it is a process, all of it together. So reminding yourself that you're doing your best, reminding yourself of how far you have come, and allowing yourself this healing time over a period as long as it takes. Because you know that every time you're feeling like the pain is here again, you know it's a different pain. You know you're in a different layer of that pain. You know that the way you felt before, where you didn't know, you didn't have a clue, now you have a clue, and maybe you've been trying something to heal over time. Maybe healing our gut is a thing that comes up right now that I have in my mind. That is a long process, because the gut is where we store a lot of our traumas, and we hold on to things. When we psychologically hold on to things, then the gut maybe isn't functioning as well as it could. But that's a coping mechanism, holding on to things and not wanting to let go, because we're afraid we're gonna lose the version of who we are, and we are. So, and we're afraid we're gonna lose things we don't want to lose. So this then reflects onto the functioning of the body, everything that we go through psychologically. And so it only makes sense that we're scared to change the functioning. And it takes a lot. It takes adjusting the diet. It takes adjusting your exercise. It takes adjusting the way you speak to yourself, the way you are in charge of your mind and in charge of yourself. But it is essential you allow yourself that time, no matter how long it will be, and it's essential for you to see the progress you have done, to reward yourself and appreciate yourself that you're doing this, that you're going, you're not giving up, and it's gonna be about this in every new pain that might feel stronger than the one before, or feels even different and new. It is here for you again to learn something else, and with that strength that you're building from within, knowing that you can do it and you can keep going and you are getting better. So that's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.